The truck rumbled across the parched earth, its tires grinding over the cracked, sun-baked ground, kicking up swirling dust devils in its wake. The landscape stretched endlessly, a vast canvas of ochre and gold, shimmering beneath the relentless sun. Inside, a strange cargo shifted with every bump and jolt. Not precious metals nor thirsty prospectors, but a family of beavers, their glossy eyes wide with curiosity and a hint of apprehension. They huddled together, whiskers twitching, as the world outside grew ever more alien. Their destination? The heart of a seemingly lifeless desert, miles from the nearest river or stream, where the only sound was the wind whispering through brittle grass and the distant call of a lone hawk. It seemed like madness. A fool's errand to release creatures of the water into an environment that mocked the very idea of moisture. The beavers pressed their noses to the glass, peering out at a world that seemed to promise only hardship. Yet, this was no act of cruelty, but a calculated gamble, an audacious experiment with the power to rewrite the fate of a forgotten land. Someone, somewhere, believed that these unlikely pioneers could spark a transformation. The very idea seemed absurd. Beavers, renowned for their dams and watery domains, dropped into a desolate expanse of sand and scrub, where even the hardiest plants struggled to survive. What hope could there be for these gentle engineers? The beavers hesitated, their instincts at odds with the dry, unfamiliar world. Every sense told them this was not home, not yet. The sun beat down mercilessly, baking the earth and pushing temperatures to extremes. The air shimmered with heat, and the ground radiated a fierce energy that seemed to repel all life. This was no place for a creature who thrived in cool, flowing streams, who sculpted their world with mud and wood. The beavers gazed at the dry streambed, as if willing water to return. Yet, here they were, these furry architects, entrusted with a task as monumental as it was improbable, to breathe life back into a land that had seemingly surrendered to the relentless grip of drought. Against all odds, hope had arrived on 4 tiny paws. The brains behind this ambitious project were not reckless gamblers, but a team of dedicated ecologists, scientists, and dreamers, all united by a single powerful vision: to see the desert bloom again. They were driven not by fame or fortune, but by a deep sense of responsibility to heal the land and restore balance to a fragile ecosystem. Each member brought their own expertise, their own stories of witnessing the land's decline, and a shared hope that things could be different. Decades of unsustainable practices, overgrazing, water mismanagement, and relentless development had ravaged the once fertile land, leaving behind a wasteland starved of its lifeblood: water. The earth was cracked, rivers had dried to dust, and the plants that once thrived now struggled to survive under the relentless sun. Traditional solutions seemed inadequate, mere band-aids on a gaping wound that only grew wider with each passing year. The land needed more than quick fixes, it needed a revolution in thinking. Then came the audacious idea: beavers. It was a spark of inspiration that seemed almost too wild to consider, yet it held a glimmer of hope. These ecologists, dismissed by some as idealistic dreamers or even fools, understood the interconnectedness of nature in a way few others did. They saw patterns and possibilities where others saw only obstacles. They knew that beavers weren't just builders of dams, but architects of entire ecosystems, capable of transforming barren land into vibrant habitats. Where beavers toiled, water flowed, trickling at first, then surging, bringing hope to the parched earth. Where water flowed, life followed. Plants, animals, and even people began to return, drawn by the promise of renewal. Could these industrious rodents, with their uncanny ability to reshape their environment, truly work their magic in this most unforgiving of landscapes? The question lingered in every mind. It was a gamble, a leap of faith into the unknown, but one they were willing to take. The stakes were high, but so was their determination. The potential rewards for both nature and humanity were too great to ignore. If they succeeded, they would not only revive a desert but inspire a new way of thinking about restoration and hope. Released into their new home, the beavers were met with a harsh reality. The world before them was nothing like the lush riverbanks they once knew. Instead of cool, shaded forests and gentle streams, they faced a vast, unfamiliar expanse of sand and stone. The sparse vegetation offered little sustenance for creatures accustomed to a diet of willow, aspen, and birch. The few plants that clung to life here were brittle and dry, a far cry from the tender shoots and leafy branches the beavers relied on for food and building. The relentless sun beat down, reflecting off the parched earth and pushing temperatures to extremes. Each day, the heat seemed to intensify, sapping their energy and making every movement a challenge. Where they instinctively sought the soothing murmur of a stream, they found only silence, the air thick with the promise of dust storms rather than the life-giving scent of water. The riverbeds were nothing but cracked earth, and the wind carried only the dry rattle of sand. Yet beavers are nothing if not tenacious. Driven by instinct and a deep-seated need to build, they set about their work. Even in the face of adversity, their determination did not waver. They gathered what little they could find, refusing to give in to despair. They gnawed at the tough, dry vegetation, their sharp teeth working tirelessly. Every bite was a struggle, but they pressed on, adapting to the new and unforgiving menu the desert offered. They dug into the unforgiving earth, their powerful claws scraping against rocks and roots. The ground resisted every effort, but the beavers' resolve was stronger, their will to survive unbroken. It was a desperate struggle, a testament to their resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. Each day brought new challenges, but also new opportunities to adapt and endure. The desert, it seemed, was determined to test their limits, to push them to the brink. But with every obstacle, the beavers showed a quiet courage, proving that even in the harshest places, hope and perseverance can take root. Their first attempts at dam building were met with failure. The dry earth refused to hold, the meager streams they managed to divert quickly vanishing into the thirsty ground. But the beavers persisted, driven by an innate understanding of water and landscape. They instinctively sought out the subtle dips and depressions in the land, the faintest hints of underground moisture. Slowly, painstakingly, they began to piece together a network of dams, each one a testament to their unwavering determination. These were not the grand, imposing structures of their riparian cousins, but humble, almost fragile creations, yet they served their purpose. They slowed the runoff, allowing precious rainwater to seep into the parched earth. They created small, scattered oases, where before there had been only dust and despair. With each dam built, with each drop of water captured, hope began to blossom in the heart of the desert. The transformation, once it began, was nothing short of miraculous. The stagnant pools created by the beaver dams, tiny mirrors reflecting the vast desert sky, became magnets for life. Dragonflies, their wings shimmering iridescent in the sunlight, danced above the water's surface. Birds, drawn by the promise of water and the sudden abundance of insects, alighted on the newly verdant banks, their songs breaking the desert silence. The beavers, their initial struggles seemingly forgotten, thrived in this transformed landscape. Their dams, once fragile and hesitant, grew in size and complexity, creating a network of interconnected wetlands that pulsed with life. The sound of running water, once a distant memory in this parched land, became a constant refrain, a symphony of hope echoing across the desert. The changes extended far beyond the immediate vicinity of the beaver ponds. As the water table rose, long dormant seeds, buried deep beneath the parched earth, stirred to life. Grasses sprouted, their emerald green a stark contrast to the muted browns and grays of the surrounding desert. Shrubs, their roots tapping into the newly accessible moisture, unfurled their leaves, casting welcome shade upon the once barren ground. The desert, once an expanse of silence and stillness, was now alive with the sounds of nature's orchestra. The air buzzed with the hum of insects, their wings beating a frenzied rhythm in the warm desert air. Birdsong filled the air, a melodious counterpoint to the rustling of leaves and the gentle lapping of water against muddy banks. The transformation was complete. The desert had been reborn. The success of the Beaver Reintroduction Project offered a powerful lesson in the interconnectedness of nature. What began as a desperate gamble had yielded astonishing results. The beavers, those unassuming architects of the wild, had demonstrated the remarkable resilience of nature, its ability to heal and regenerate when given the chance. But the project also highlighted the crucial role of human intervention, of our capacity to act as stewards of the natural world. The ecologists who dared to dream of a greener desert, who recognized the potential of these furry engineers, had shown that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges, hope remains. Their vision, their unwavering belief in the power of nature had sparked a transformation that extended far beyond the boundaries of the desert. It was a testament to the power of collaboration, of humans and nature working together to restore what had been lost. News of the desert's transformation spread, carrying with it a powerful message of hope and possibility. Across the globe, in arid regions ravaged by drought and desertification, communities took notice. Could this unlikely tale of beavers and reborn ecosystems offer a blueprint for their own parched lands? Could these industrious rodents hold the key to restoring balance to ecosystems teetering on the brink? From the American Southwest to the African savanna, from the dry plains of Australia to the steppes of Central Asia, projects inspired by the desert beavers began to emerge. Scientists, conservationists, and local communities came together, united by a shared desire to heal the land and ensure a sustainable future. The beavers, once dismissed as a nuisance, were now hailed as ecological heroes, their ability to reshape landscapes recognized as a powerful tool in the fight against climate change and environmental degradation. The story of the beavers in the desert is ultimately a story about the power of partnership. It highlights the remarkable resilience of nature, its capacity to heal and regenerate when given the chance. But it also underscores the crucial role of human ingenuity, our responsibility to act as stewards of the natural world, to use our knowledge and understanding to help restore balance to ecosystems in crisis. It is a story that reminds us that even in the face of daunting challenges, hope remains. By working together, by embracing innovative solutions and recognizing the interconnectedness of all living things, we can create a more sustainable and vibrant future for generations to come. The beavers, in their quiet, industrious way, have shown us the way. Now it is up to us to follow their lead.